Hi there, welcome back inside the Tier 4 studio here in Morgantown, West Virginia. For the Charleston Gazette-Mail, I'm Mike Casaza, and this is part 10 of our 2015-15 countdown, getting you close, day by day, to the start of the football season at West Virginia University. Today, how about we discuss the offense? That's what we tend to do when we're around Dana Holgorsen in West Virginia. And if you're talking about Dana Holgorsen and you're talking about his offense, you're obviously talking about the air raid, right? Nope. Dana Holgorsen says that in the 8 years he's been gone from Texas Tech, he has never once called his offense the air raid. And it's a bit unusual to hear that type of protest for someone who has been connected to the air raid for so long as a player, an assistant coach, and even as a head coach. What he would like people to say is that his offense is multiple. If you step back and look at it, you probably nod your head and say, you know what, it is multiple. In fact, there are multiples. What does it mean? Well, it means that time has taken the desired effect, and he has a roster now that gives him more confidence and more capability to do what he has wanted to do for quite some time. He's wanted to be multiple in his attack, in his philosophies, in his personnel, and now you might see it this year. West Virginia will go at defenses different ways this year than in the past. But let's understand the change. It used to be a pass-first offense, right? Even if it wasn't an air raid, West Virginia threw the ball first and foremost. The first year, 2011, 56% of the time, Dana Holgorsen passed. Then it went to 54. Then it went to 52. And last year, 48% of the time. How has this happened? West Virginia has had greater success recruiting the running back position and the offensive lineman in the past couple of years. And the arrivals of Jawan Sider and Ron Crook have, frankly, made those positions better and more versatile. What do I mean by that? Look at the collection of running backs. Different bodies, different players, different skill sets. You can hammer away at defensive lines and linebackers with backs like Russell Shell and maybe even Dante Thomas-Williams. You can throw a change of pace with more of a slash and dash guy like Wendell Smallwood. You can even use Smallwood and Jackie Marcellus to line up in the backfield, maybe carry the ball sometime, but also to motion out into the slot or catch passes out of the backfield. The offensive line has had quite the makeover since Ron Crook arrived. You see a much more straight-ahead, physical, powerful style. A lot of times you'll see the guards pull, go to the other side of the line of scrimmage and clear the way for a running back. Yet those same 5 players can also handle inside zone and outside zone plays. Look at the quarterback position even. Skylar Howard, William Crest, David Sills, all recruited in the past couple of years, but they add a running element to the offense. You might see more quarterback run plays this year. I think you'll see added liberties for a player like Skylar Howard where he can get outside and do something with his legs. He can break down a defense, maybe pressure them with his feet to gain some yardage or to draw on the secondary and throw the ball deep. It seems more and more now that West Virginia wants to run to set up the pass. As unusual as that sounds, I know. But if you can bring up the secondary, if you can sneak a safety closer to the line of scrimmage, if you can occupy the linebackers, West Virginia's going to have a great incentive to throw the ball. That's why in the spring it was such good news for the offense to see Skylar Howard and Shelton Gibson connect on so many deep passes. They're going to have to find ways to discourage defenses from coming up to regard the run as much as you think those defenses will, and give them a reason to step back and pay attention to players like Gibson outside, maybe even Dakeil Shorts outside. And even those two are a little bit multiple. Shorts is kind of the inside reliable receiver who is motioned outside to play there this year. Gibson does seem to have the greatest speed on his side, and that's a guy who can get down deep and again take the top off the defense, which then creates alleys for the running game. And one thing we often overlook is the tempo that Holgorsen will use. He can vary it. He can go fast, he can go slow, he can accommodate his defense if it needs a break, he can attack the other team's defense if those guys are sucking air and they can't keep up with what the Mountaineers are doing on offense. Tempo, the multiplicity he has there, is a great asset to what he wants. And then finally, no matter what Dana's going to do this year, if he's going to run more, if he's going to pass more, if he's going to have the running quarterback and use that asset in his offense, you're only going to see 6, 7, 8 plays. But they run those plays in so many multiple formations. You could see the same running play out of 3 or 4 different combinations. You could see the same passing play out of 3 or 4 different combinations. It's a pretty limited set with almost infinite possibilities because you can dress it up with all these different formations. So it does seem silly to say that Dana Holgorsen's not an air raid guy anymore, especially when his passing game does have so many of the concepts, but it is a bit more multiple than he's been given credit for before. And maybe that's why now he wants to be known as the head of a multiple offense. That's it for this time. I'll see you next time. For the Charleston Gazette-Mail, I'm Mike Casaza.